Alright, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator VR. We're playing on an Oculus Quest 2 and we're playing through virtual reality desktop. Playing with a HOTAS setup, that's a stick and a throttle, and in this case it's the Thrustmaster T16000M. In this video we're going through the third of the training missions under General Aviation Training. So this is takeoff and level flight. Let's get to it. You can catch this video at youtube.com/substatica, and you can catch me live at twitch.tv/substatica. That's SUBSTATICA. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff is appreciated if you enjoy the content. I'm not a pilot, so please forgive any glaring errors I make in my fumbling around trying to find the button bindings, since I've got a headset on and can't see the joystick or the throttle, and there's a lot of buttons. Here we go. Ready to fly.
There's an old saying I like. A mile of road will take you a mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today. Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Everything looks good, no cross traffic. Go ahead and taxi into position. The rudder pedals should make steering the plane pretty easy.
So took the brakes off, now we're throttling up a bit. Alright, we don't have any pedals, so the rudder control is twisting the stick, which is really responsive here. Make sure we don't get going too fast. There we go, and then button 3 to stop us in the middle of the runway.
Alright, let's do this. Apply full
Let's
power
do this.
and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go.
There's full power.
Use your rudders to stay on the center line and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
Whoa, we're kind of tilting down. Whoa, stay on the center line. This is looking pretty hazardous.
Good. Now gently pull back on the yoke. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude.
Whoa. Pretty bouncy. Let's get a good climb attitude. That looks good.
We're airborne. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to keep the runway heading of 210 degrees. Maintain 75 knots and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time.
Okay. We'll make sure we don't pitch up too high or we'll lose our speed. Gotta keep looking ahead for this. Oh, see, we're losing speed there. Aiming too high. We're at almost 5,500 now. So this is doing pretty good. A little bit more. That's our altimeter right in front of us.
5,500 feet. A nice safe altitude for part 2 of our lesson.
Okay.
Straight and level flight. First step here is adjusting our attitude. We're in a cruise attitude, pushing max power. To stay level at our target altitude, let's start by easing the throttle back to 1,800 RPMs.
All right. Tachyometer is over there on the right. Kind of hard to see, but there it is. It's about 2,000.
You've probably noticed, to maintain altitude, you need to pitch the nose up.
Yeah.
You could just keep pulling on the yoke to hold steady, but that's not really a precise means of control. Probably better to adjust your trim wheel until you don't need to push or pull on the yoke. Drag
Interesting.
the trim down when you need to set the nose up. Drag it up to set the nose down. Try adding trim to keep us at 5,500 feet without increasing
Okay.
throttle. If you feel our pitch slipping and need to get back to the proper attitude, don't worry. Just pull on the yoke, then dial in the right trim.
Is that doing it? That's kind of doing it. Although we're looking pretty close to that hill. I think we better turn a bit. Just until we're over there. Okay, so now let's see. Oops, what was that? That was flaps. We don't want to do that. So, this trim wheel doesn't seem to be going very quickly. It's a really dull adjustment. Well, that's flying us into the ground. So let's go the other way. And we're gonna have to throttle up to get over this hill, mountain. Once we're over the mountain, hopefully there won't be any more mountains to get over. Hopefully it doesn't tell us where unless, you know what, let's just turn. Maybe that's a better idea. Okay. Now we're kind of heading back. Let's see if we can figure out this trim thing. We're not, I mean, now we're pitching down still. Not getting the hang of this trim wheel. It always ends up pitching us down. I mean, that doesn't look too bad, but is that it? A little more? Want a bit more. All right, I think we got it. So the pitch wheel is right down there at the bottom. Seems to move really slowly. I guess that's for fine adjustment. But now we're looking like we're zeroed in. So we got to maintain. Drop the throttle, and we just dropped right down. So we got to retrim with the different throttle setting. Okay, now we're evening back out. Keep the plane at 5,500. What are we at? We are... Gotta trim a bit more to get us going up. To get back up to 5,500. So let's do that. Whoa. So I think we got the hang of the trim wheel, but we gotta get back up to 5,500 feet because we dropped quite a bit. So throttled up, pitched up, climb back up to 5,500, then we'll see if we can set the trim at 5,500. Too bad you don't have VR hands in this, and you can have some nice leather flight gloves, and I can point things out. Not that I could say anything authoritative other than there's the trim wheel and point at it. where are we at now? So that's 5,000 feet, a little more. Then we can drop our throttle, adjust the trim, and hopefully get green on these two objectives. I don't know what that eye is telling us. Watch our gauges, watch our instruments. All right, there we're at more or less 5,500 almost. So let's throttle down.
The way I was taught, when you
set the
adjust the trim, you make rough changes at first to remove pressure on the yoke, then small adjustments to find the perfect setting to keep your desired attitude. That's the key to straight and level flight.
There we go.
It saves you from constantly pushing or pulling on the yoke. And that gives you more time to enjoy the ride. If you want more
Now we
practice
can enjoy
using
the
trim,
ride.
go for it. Whenever you're ready to
Had
pass
lots
the
of
controls,
practice.
I'll be here.
Okay, well that was an important lesson. This makes things a lot easier. Although I don't know why it keeps telling me to look down. What am I missing down here? Look over there. I'm looking, we're all good. Whoa. I don't know what happened there. So there you have it. This is training mission 3. Microsoft Flight Sim VR with an Oculus Quest virtual reality desktop. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.